Every Jedi Ability Part 2. Number 1. Tuda Minis. Tuda Minis is the ability to take in raw energy, whether it's a blaster bolt, a force lightning strike, or even the heat of a lightsaber, and neutralize it through the connection with the force. Think of Yoda in the Senate chamber, when Sidious unleashed a storm of force lightning and Yoda caught it in his bare hands. Or when Yoda also caught Dooku's lightning like it was nothing, then redirected it. But the most striking example is Rey in The Rise of Skywalker, where she holds back Palpatine's force lightning with both sabers, absorbing an energy storm meant to wipe out the Resistance fleet. In Legends, this ability is pushed even further. Jedi like Nami Sunrider and Jolee Bindo didn't just survive force attacks, they channeled that power, turning it into strength. But if a Jedi tries absorbing more than they can handle, it overloads their body. The shock travels through their nerves, the heat builds inside them faster than they can push it out, and the energy burns through them. Even masters like Yoda showed strain when Sidious hit him with lightning. His hands were shaking from the pressure of absorbing the lightning. Now, while Tuda Minis steals energy, this next one creates it. Number 2. Force Valor. This temporarily boosts your speed, strength, reflexes, and stamina, pushing the Jedi body beyond its natural limits. In combat, it's the difference between barely surviving and outlasting an entire battalion. We saw it in the Clone Wars, when Anakin and Obi-Wan ran headfirst into droid armies, slashing through wave after wave with no sign of fatigue. But it's more than physical. A Jedi using Force Valor is also calmer under pressure, more focused, more in tune with their surroundings. That's because this ability also shields the mind, increasing willpower and resistance to fear or manipulation. In Legends, it was often used to counteract dark side influence on the battlefield, helping Jedi stay centered in the chaos. Valor isn't infinite though. The longer you maintain it, the more it drains your energy, just like Tuda Minis. Some Jedi can hold it for minutes. Masters can sustain it longer, but at a cost. Too much and the power fades, leaving the body exhausted, shaky, and vulnerable to attack. Number 3. Psychometric. This allows a person to read the memories of an object, to feel the emotions of whoever last touched it, and sometimes witness what they saw, did, or suffered. It's extremely rare, and for Jedi who have it, it's more of a curse than a gift. I'll explain why I said that in a bit. We see Psychometric clearly with Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order. When he picks up a clone trooper's helmet or a broken lightsaber, he doesn't just see the battle, he feels the trauma, the fear, the last breath. For him, each item is a doorway into someone else's pain. Quinlan Vos, another Jedi gifted with psychometry, used it as a tracker, piercing together trails others couldn't see. His connection ran so deep he could relive full moments in vivid detail just by brushing his fingers across a weapon or wall. But there's danger in using it too often. The stronger the emotion tied to the object, the stronger the echo, and over time, it can overwhelm the Jedi's own sense of self that could lead to insanity over time. That's why the Council discouraged it. This ability lets you bond with objects. This next ability lets you bond with other Jedi. Number 4. Force Meld. This is just like the 2.0 of Force Meditation and sometimes called the Battle Meditation Lite. It's the ability to mentally link with other Jedi, creating a shared awareness that sharpens reflexes, strengthens willpower, and syncs combat instincts. When used properly, it's like being in someone else's head without speaking. In the Clone Wars, with Jedi strike teams who moved like they've rehearsed every attack, pushing through droid lines without hesitation. In Legends, Bastila Shan wielded full battle meditation, turning entire fleets into a unified force. But Force Meld is a smaller, faster version used in close quarters. The power doesn't just boost reaction time, it binds emotional states. So if one Jedi finds clarity, the rest do too, and in tense situations, this can be the edge that keeps a squad alive. But if one mind in the meld is overwhelmed by fear, pain, or darkness, that emotion can ripple through the connection like a shockwave. What started as a strength can quickly become a liability. But if you prefer not being in combat yourself, this next ability is perfect. Force Projection. Force projection is rare because it allows the user to create a lifelike illusion of yourself in real time from across vast distances. Your image moves, speaks, and even fights, but you're never physically there. It's literally just like a hologram, but with the manifestation of the Force. At its peak, it was used by Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Alone on Ahch-To, he projected himself across the galaxy to confront Kylo Ren on Crate. He blocked lightsaber strikes, held conversations, even left red footprints where none should have been. But in truth, Luke never left that island. Right there is aura farming at its peak. What makes force projection so dangerous is the cost. The strain of anchoring your consciousness to another location while maintaining the illusion can be lethal. Luke knew this. He used the last of his life energy to buy time, to spark hope, and to fulfill his final act as a Jedi. In Legends, a version of this power existed too, sometimes called simul-futurist, but only the most powerful Jedi Masters could attempt it. Number 5. Force Sympathy. Now this is kinda misinterpreted because most people think Force Sympathy is just about reading minds. However, it's about feeling. They can sense fear, confusion, sorrow, even hope. Not just in general, but deeply, sometimes even overwhelmingly. This is how Jedi form bonds with others so quickly. To the untrained, this power can be so burdensome. A Jedi must carry not only their own emotions, but those of everyone around them. But in the right hands, it allows a Jedi to bring calm to chaos, or to know when someone's lying or when someone's begging to be heard. Jedi like Obi-Wan and Depa Billaba were incredibly attuned to others' emotional state. In Legends, the most gifted empaths could even link with animals, forge lifelong bonds, or nudge someone's emotional state, easing pain or building trust. But those techniques bordered on influence, and the Jedi Code forbade using emotion as a tool. But unlike liars that Jedi can see, you won't see this next ability coming. Number 6. Force Stealth. Also called Force Concealment, this is another rare Jedi ability. It allows a Force user to mask their presence, making them nearly undetectable to others, even fellow Force sensitives. To a Jedi hunter like Darth Vader, it's like chasing a ghost. A Jedi using Force Stealth can hide their emotions, suppress their aura, and cloak their very essence. Even droids with scanners can be fooled. The best example is Yoda. He literally vanished in the Force. Despite being one of the most powerful beings alive, Yoda concealed himself completely so that neither Sidious nor Vader could ever sense him, even while meditating or using the Force. Other Jedi like Quinlan Vos or Obi-Wan Kenobi also used the skill during their exile after Order 66. It's what allowed them to survive while others were hunted down, but it's not an easy power to master. Here comes the downside. It requires absolute control over fear, desire, anger, anything that can leak through the Force. Now, while this ability focuses on hiding in the shadows, this next ability completely erases shadows. Force Blinding. Force Blinding is exactly what it sounds like. A sudden blast of pure, light side energy that overwhelms the senses. When used, it can temporarily or even permanently blind a dark side Force user by flooding their vision with bright light. But it doesn't always affect just eyesight. In extreme cases, it can disrupt focus or even weaken a Sith's connection to the Force. One of the most powerful uses of Force Blinding came from Obi-Wan Kenobi in Legends, who used it to blind Darth Vader during one of their earlier duels. But the most famous example is from Jacen Solo, a Jedi who unleashed this ability with such intensity that it blinded his enemy and even disrupted their ability to sense through the Force for a while. It's not flashy or commonly used, but most Jedi don't train for attack powers, and Force Blinding walks a fine line between defense and aggression. Number 7. Force Sever. Force Sever is one of the most powerful and terrifying Force abilities ever recorded. It allows a Jedi to sever another being's connection to the Force entirely, like flipping a switch that never turns back on. They lose the very thing they've built their identity around, the power they've twisted, relied on, and even worshipped. The technique is ancient, rare, and often considered a last resort, because the Jedi Code doesn't take kindly to permanent punishment, but in some moments, there's no other choice. One of the most well-known uses of the Sever Force happened in Legends during the Great Sith War. After her husband was murdered, Jedi Knight Nami Sunrider eventually confronted the Sith who trained her husband's killer, a fallen Jedi named Ulic Qel-Droma. Ulic had helped wage war across the galaxy. He betrayed his order. He killed countless Jedi. And yet when Nami finally faced him, she didn't strike him down. She used the Force and severed his connection completely. In canon, we've seen glimpses of this idea. Yoda, Obi-Wan, even Rey have spoken about how the Force can be quieted or how dark side users can become cut off. However, just as this last ability cuts off your connection to the Force, this next one restores it. Number 8. Revitalize. Revitalize is the Jedi's answer to fading hope. It allows a Force sensitive to channel their own energy, their strength, stamina, even life force to heat or recharge someone else. It doesn't repair injuries like Force Heal. Instead, it brings a person back from the edge, restoring consciousness, stabilizing their body, or giving them the strength to keep fighting. It's rare and most Jedi never learn it because it requires focus, sacrifice, and a deep bond beyond the Jedi and the person they're helping. The connection matters. If it's not strong, the energy transfer can fail or even hurt both users. In Knights of the Old Republic Part 2, the Jedi Exile can use Revitalize mid-battle to bring fallen allies back into the fight, not at full strength, but enough to tip the odds. However, it's not a guarantee. If the person is too far gone, even the Force can't pull them back. But when it works, it's like watching someone wake up from the brink of death. That's why it's not used recklessly, because every time a Jedi uses it, they're giving something up, a piece of their own strength to lift someone else. It's the purest expression of what it means to fight for life, not power. If you want to learn more about Force abilities, check out part 1 here.